All right. Well, I'm coming to share Mending Hearts with you, with everybody today. Mending Hearts is where I work, and we are a facility, a rather large facility that work with women coming out of incarceration and/or addiction and mental health. And we are right down the street from our old church in West Nashville on Tennessee. So it's a neighborhood community outreach project that I was just wanting to bring in and share, because Dan had been talking about in our revival and all the things we've been doing about getting up out of our seats and going out and doing something and giving back to the community. And this will be an awesome opportunity for us to get involved with an organization that's in our neighborhood. And so I've asked some ladies to come and speak today. And just before she comes, something unique about Mending Hearts is they don't turn anybody down regardless of their ability to pay, which is a huge endeavor because it's expensive to have treatment. They just did a survey, the state did, and 72% of our women who come into treatment, residential treatment, stay. And that's a huge number compared to the national average of 20 to 25%. So I started thinking, what is different about us? What is different about Mending Hearts that women want to stay? They stick and stay. We don't have a big turnover. And the other day, one of our, and these ladies might have been in that group with Ariel, but Ariel was speaking and sharing her story. And at the end of it, she said, I've been to over 15 rehabs. And what's different about Mending Hearts is that every morning Miss Betsy gives me a hug. And Miss Betsy's here today. What's different about us is that we care. They really don't care how much we know. What they care about is that they know we care about them and we love them right where they are. Because we offer the same treatment that every treatment facility around offers, including Cumberland Heights and all of those places. We have the same curriculum. We're all mandated to do the same things. We're all licensed by the same governing body. We all get audited by the same governing body. But I think what is unique about us is that we love on our women. We love them until they can love themselves. And Christina is going to come and speak just a little bit about where she's come from and where she wants to go. When she talks, I would look around the room and every woman in there would just be staring at her. They want what she has. And that's unique because what she already has at this stage of her recovery is the Lord. And she speaks passionate about it and is compelling. And the women want what she has. They flock around her. And so I just wanted her to come share because I would love for this church to flock around them too and just love on them. And I have some unique opportunities that we can get involved and in the lives of these women so that they can see more of God's love in us. And Betsy and Mike are here today, and I just want to thank Betsy. Betsy is an amazing team player. Me and her have been working together for about 9 months, and I just love her to death. And I love her heart. You couldn't find anybody in this world that loves these ladies more than she does. And the one thing that the women say they miss when they go down the hill is Miss Betsy. So thank you for coming and supporting Christina this morning as well. She's nervous, but I know she's going to do a great job.
I'm not going to talk in the microphone. I can talk loud enough, everybody can hear me. How y'all doing? I'm glad to be here. Thank you for this opportunity, Miss Tammy, and thank you for this church. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Like she was talking about Ariel, I've been in treatment centers more than 15 times myself, so many I can't count. I was a lost sheep for a long time. I had no love for myself. I felt empty, and I couldn't figure out my purpose in life. I didn't know where I was going, or I knew a little bit about God, but I couldn't figure out why he wanted me here. I couldn't figure out what was going on with me. I didn't have any talents. I didn't have any strengths, and my self-esteem suffered greatly. And it took me a long time. I've been incarcerated a few times. And one of those incarcerations, I sat down, and I had nothing. I had nobody. But I had a New Testament, and I had an Our Daily Bread, and I had a blanket, and I had my cell, and I was all by myself. And I would sit down in my cell, and I'd say, okay, I'll read these books. And I didn't understand much about what I was reading, but I'd have a blanket party with God, is what I would say. And I go in there, and little by little, I'd say I can't take it no more, and I gave my life in that point to him. And little by little, I started noticing blessings. I was getting things like whites. Nobody had visited me or put money on my accounts or anything like that. And then somebody out of the blue in my walk of life had come to visit me. And I knew where it had come from. It's because I had given myself, and I was studying the Word, and I'd give myself to God. I didn't really understand much, but I was trying. Where once before, I didn't even try. I didn't understand much about what I was reading. It was a King James Version. It was a little complex for me, and I tried. But I was struggling with it. I didn't understand a lot, but I knew that I wanted God, and He started blessing me. Later along the lines, I took back my will, and I ended up going to prison from there. But I know why. It's because I took back my will. They offered me rehab, but in my head, I was thinking it was shorter time. If I went ahead and stayed in my incarceration, I'd get out quicker. And I was wrong. I ended up doing my whole sentence, and because I chose not to go to rehab thinking my will, I would get out quicker. So I ended up going to the penitentiary, and I came out, and I relapsed. I continued my way, and ended up incarcerated again with some new charges after the penitentiary years later. And I got in a little trouble, and I was sat in a cell again. And I got a new Bible. And this Bible, somewhere along the line, it opened, I could read it like a book. God gave me the ability this time to understand what I was reading. It was, I read this contemporary, or it was New Living Translation and stuff, but he blessed me with this book and I had nothing I could read. I was in trouble. I was nothing but this Bible in this cell for 10 days. And the whole time I was in there, I could read this book, and not only could I read it, I had the ability to retain what I was reading. And I could institute it in my life. And I could understand these stories, Jonah and the whale, Matthew the tax collector. I was like, okay, this is me. I am a lot, and he loves me. And I felt it. I felt the presence, and I started talking about it. And along the way, I ran into a book called The Prayer of Jabez. And I don't know by Bill Wilkerson. I don't know if anybody knows anything about this book. But in this book, The Prayer of Jabez, it speaks about how God wants to bless us. And that, if we don't ask for them, we can't get them. And it's 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 9 and 10. And Jabez, his name means pain. His mother bore him in pain, and she named him Jabez. And Jabez, and this is in Chronicles, and in Chronicles, it's nothing but a bunch of names, right? Yeah, I don't understand. And it stops in the middle of Chronicles and says something about Jabez, who was more honorable than his brothers. His mother, and he prayed to the God of Israel, "Oh, that you would bless me indeed, that you would enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, that you would keep me from evil, and that I may not cause pain." And God granted him his request. And it's just awesome because it stops in there, and it must be something special about this guy. And in this book, it explains, if you go to heaven, and St. Peter takes you around heaven, and he's showing you heaven, and then there's a building over here to the right. And you say, well, can I see this building? And he's like, you don't want to go in there. Well, of course, yeah, I want to go in there. I want to go everywhere I'm not supposed to go, right? So I want to go in there and see what's in this building. And so I run over to the building and go in there, and I open the door, and there's boxes everywhere. And on the boxes, there's names. So you ask St. Peter, do I have a box? And St. Peter's like, yeah, you have one, but you don't want to open this box. And I said, yeah, I want to open it. I run to it, and I open the box, and inside of it is all the blessings God wanted to give me, but I didn't ask for. So in my incarceration, I ask for my blessings every day, and I pray that prayer every day. And that prayer has brought me to Mending Hearts. Of course, I kind of switched it around a little bit because, that was, the Old Testament type prayer. So, I asked, that God bless me with the blessings that he wishes for me to have. So I may use those blessings to better serve him. I asked that he enlarge my territory. Now, in the Old Testament, that was like more sheep and more land and stuff. I just want to go places. I want to do something different. I want to help people. So enlarge my territory and take me to people that I may need to gain knowledge and wisdom from so I can better serve you, or take me to people that can get some knowledge and wisdom from me so they can better serve you. Let your hand be with me through all my decisions, because I can't make good decisions. And that's where I find myself today, Mending Hearts. But So I can't make good decisions. And, the stronger I get in the faith, please keep me from evil. Because the stronger I'm in faith, the more evil comes at me. The more stressors I get and stuff that I would never imagine is coming out of the woodwork, the stronger I get. And the more that I spread his message, it seems like stuff. So please just keep me from evil. And if you can't keep me from evil altogether, give me the tools I need to fight that evil, conquer, and win. And then, help me to not cause pain, because I have caused so much pain to people that I didn't even realize, innocent people around with the choices I've made, my family, my friends, my children. Help me to not cause any more evil. Help me to be a positive influence and not a negative influence. And please grant me my request. And I tell you, each and every day, I get somebody somewhere along, they ask me something, I help them, or they help me. Miss Betsy has helped me, I try to stay positive and upbeat, but I have my bad days too. And she was there at one time, and I was annoyed, and I was like, okay, it's not her, it's me. It's, where I'm at, and I feel like the evil's coming at me, and it's not you. I just had to take a breath, breather, and let her know that, you're great, everything's great, it's me, and sometimes I'm overwhelmed. And this is Mending Hearts does. Mending Hearts helps people like me that have messed up a lot and don't know how to live what society deems normal. We don't know how to make good decisions, and we're used to doing them for such a long period of time. And that's what's great about Mending Hearts is they understand. And Mending Hearts has so many women, and yes, I was one of the women who was funded by a grant. And I decided to stay. It was my choice to stay because I know I want the way of life. I see what Miss Betsy has. I see what Tammy has. I see what these, and they really care. And I want what they've got. I want my God. I want God in my life. I want everything He's got to offer me. And I think it's through them. I feel like the people there are anointed. They're just treasures there. And they really work hard with us. And they accept us. And they understand that there was bad decisions that we had made. And they don't judge us. And they, when we're having a bad day, they'll take time, they stay late. They really work with us to help us to get on a path with God. And, of course, some of us are standoffish when it comes to God at first, because we're angry and we've got a lot of issues. But slowly but surely, these women are blossoming into just light, beautiful. They want it. They're craving it. They need it. And now's the time. And, holiday season's coming, Thanksgiving's coming, and, we could really use some support there, and that's what Miss Tammy has brought me here. And I want to read a little bit from what, get away from me because I'm loud, and that'll really get loud. What, I think is a good message to people to kind of jump in and help us. And it's Matthew, and this is out of the Contemporary English. It's Matthew 25:31 through 46. When the Son of Man comes in His glory with all His angels, He will sit on His royal throne. The people of all nations will be brought before Him, and He will separate them, as shepherds separate their sheep from their goats. He will place the sheep on His right and the goats on His left. Then the King will say to those on His right, "My Father has blessed you. Come and receive the kingdom that was prepared for you before the world was created. When I was hungry, you gave me something to eat. And when I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. When I was a stranger, you welcomed me. And when I was naked, you gave me clothes to wear. When I was sick, you took care of me, and when I was in jail, you visited me." Then the ones who please the Lord will ask, "When did we give you something to eat or drink? When did we welcome you as a stranger, or give you clothes to wear, or visit you while you were sick in jail?" The King will answer, "Whenever you did it for any of my people, no matter how unimportant they seem, you did it for me." Then the King will say to those on His left, "Get away from me, you are under God's curse. Go into the everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. I was hungry, but you did not give me anything to eat. And I was thirsty, but you did not give me anything to drink. And I was a stranger, but you did not welcome me. And I was naked, but you did not give me any clothes to wear. I was sick and in jail, but you did not take care of me." Then the people will ask, "Lord, when did we fail to help you? When you were hungry, or thirsty, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in jail?" The King will say to them, "Whenever you fail to help any of my people, no matter how unimportant they seem, you failed to do it for me." Then Jesus said, "Those people will be punished forever, but the ones who please God will have eternal life." So, we're the sheep, and if you want to be a sheep, you get on the side to help us. Maybe, do a little, anything you can. We're having a Thanksgiving thing, and she's trying to get funding for this Thanksgiving thing, and You know, we might be a quiet community, but we need all the help we can get. And if you can find it in your hearts, you know, to help us ladies out and show us your love and, you know, your light from God, because some of these girls need it. They need to know that people out there care, you know, because even though the choices they made, it's amazing to me that people want me around. And it means so much to me now, because once upon a time, nobody wanted me around. And now they do. And I know these girls want to feel that too. And I just ask that you think about it and pray for us and try to help us out. Thank you.
Amen.